Ask Dr. Love. This is the podcast where you get to ask the questions about Asian medicine, acupuncture, herbal medicine, and your health. If love is the answer, what is your question? So I'm Dr. George Xavier Love, Doctor of Oriental Medicine, Grandmaster of Qigong. And you get to ask me questions about anything dealing with health and spirituality, because they cannot be separated. Today's information is going to be on anatomy drumming. So if you're Facebook, YouTube, or IG, you can put your questions into the comments. If you're listening on iTunes Radio, iHeartRadio, Radio Play, or any other podcast, if you're listening, then you can ask your question. You can text your question to 81010 to at Ask Dr. Love. 81010. And when you get a reply window, then you type your question in there. So those are all the ways that you can contact me and you can share with your friends, because I'm about to drop some self-healing information. So my first question is to you. If you were God and you were going to invent human beings, would you invent them so they would break down and need to see doctors, or would you invent them so they were self-repairing? Oh, self-repairing. That's what I heard you say. So, what happened to the self-repair manual? What did you do with it? Did they cut it off your big toe when you were born? Okay, so here's step one of the self-repair manual. Now, anybody who's been watching me for the last 11 years knows that I'm famous for heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, Jing Qi. So that's what we call organ drumming. Everybody who knows me knows that I've been doing that. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can go to Boost Your Immune System online, and on Friday there'll be a free class. Maybe there's a repost of last Friday's class in which we go heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, Jing Qi. So that is organ drumming. Then the next aspect is endocrine drumming. So who knows what the endocrine glands are? So there's the pineal, there's the pituitary, there's the thyroid plug, there's the thymus thumb, there's the adrenal pump, there's the pituitary poke, and there's the gonad bump. So those are the 7 endocrine glands. And then there's the major joints. So we can drum the shoulder, the top of the elbow joint. We can drum the wrist joint. And I don't know if I can get my knee up there high enough, but there's a whole sequence to drumming the knee. So we've got 6 major joints: shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, ankle. And so anatomy drumming teaches you how to drum those organs. So besides the organs, we've got the meridians. Now, again, if you've been watching me on a regular basis, then you know we've got 3 arm yang meridians. We have 3 arm yin meridians. The outside of the leg, we've got 3 leg yang meridians on the outside and 3 leg yin meridians on the inside. So we can drum the meridians, which we do every morning in class. If you're attending the online Qigong class, and you can easily register for that at loveqigong.com. And we also drum the legs, and then we also drum up the inside of the leg, which we call the nighttime 9. And then we drum the head for the memory. We drum the head to increase movement. We drum the top of the head to increase circulation of cerebrospinal fluid. So we've got all kinds and then of course we drum the back of the neck to increase blood circulation, to build the immune system. This is a good way to build the immune system. And then we've got the bottom of the feet. Again, I don't know if you can actually see my feet, but we can drum the bottom of the feet. So we've got the joints, the meridians, the organs, the endocrine glands, the head, and the feet. Now, we can use the tips of the fingers. We can use the whole hand. I'm scaring people with the drumming. It's way loud. Okay. So you can use the tips of the fingers. You can strum. You can drum. You can use a loose fist. Okay. So there's many different ways of doing the anatomy. Now, the thing that I want to teach you today is a morning routine and an evening routine. And I'm only going to teach you part of the routine because each routine is 10 minutes long. So there's an evening routine that you do before you go to bed. And then there's a morning routine that you do in bed as soon as you wake up. So I'm going to teach you the morning routine as soon as you wake up. So we're going to start by rubbing our hands together and we're going to generate some heat. And then you're going to put the center of the right palm over the center of your belly button. If you're a guy, and if you're a girl, you're going to put the left hand over the center of the belly button. And now we're going to do 8 spirals from the center out to the edge of the abdominal cavity. So we're going to go up to the ribs, and we're going to go all the way down to the groin. So it's 8 spirals out until we get all the way to the outer edge. Now, this is called Xing the circle. So you're going to start with 8 pats of the armpit, and then you're going to brush down in an X to your groin, and then you're going to do 8 pats of your groin, and then 8 pats under the armpit, and then you're going to brush down to the groin, and you're going to do 8 pats. And we're going to do that 8 times. Brush down. And we do that whole sequence 8 times. Then we're going to start at the wrist. So you're going to put your hand on your knee and you're going to go 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to do the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to do the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the top of the shoulder. 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Do that. I'm sorry, 3 times. We're going to do that whole sequence. Then we're going to do the heart, the armpit, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to do the elbow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to do the wrist, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the little finger. Now, the pericardium is just to the outside of the nipple. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the center of the elbow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the center of the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now the lung is right underneath the collarbone. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. And the top of the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we do the same thing on the opposite side. And that is a complete morning routine for anatomy drumming. So guess what the benefit of that is? Number one, it increases blood circulation. Number two, it decreases blood stagnation. Number three, it gets the muscles alive and it gets the nerves stimulated. And guess what? You start breathing heavier. And again, you just feel alive from doing this body drumming. Now, the largest lymph gland is in the armpit. The secondary lymph glands are in the groin. So by patting, dragging, and then spiraling, or actually starting with the spiraling, we're waking up the lymphatic system. Now you have 1,400 lymphatic drainage points, and 1,100 of them are right here between your chest and your abdomen. Wow. And then when we do the groin and the armpit, we pretty much covered the entire lymph system. And the immune system works through the lymph organs. That's how it works. So if we do the lymph system, the first thing you wake up, and then we do the meridian drumming on the arms, wow. That's really wow. Now, again, I don't know if you can see my legs, but you make a loose fist, and the area underneath the knee is called stomach 36. And so 8 times, and then 8 times down to the ankle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we do this 3 times. Now that point, stomach 36, is for stamina. It's for regulating stomach acid if you have too much or too little. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could be doing this with me if you wanted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. 1, 2. Not you, Katniss. So we do 3 times on each leg. Now, if you're really ambitious, you can go up the inside. 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then across the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1, 2, 3. And now your legs are all nice and tingly. So we went down the outside, up the inside, and we did both arms, and we did the chest, and then we did the top of the head, back of the head, front of the head, side of the head, and that's a whole morning routine that takes less than 6 minutes to do that whole morning routine. So that is the secret of anatomy drumming. Now, if you really want to learn this, it's a 6-hour class. 6 hours just to learn the details. And I gave you the whole thing in less than 10 minutes. So if you're interested in learning how to do the anatomy drumming, which is a 6-hour class, put in the comments. We'll contact you the next time that class comes up, which will probably be August or September. So giving you a heads up, you got 2-3 months head start if you want to learn that class. Now, if you have any questions about self-massage, acupressure, patting, drumming, slapping, plucking, now's the time to ask your question. Okay? So I know I kind of raced through the information. Your brains haven't had a chance to actually formulate a question, but I know Katniss has a question because she's been paying attention all weekend to the anatomy drumming. So what's your first question, Katniss?
When we actually rub our stomach in a circular motion, what are we promoting?
That is a brilliant question. So I tell everybody you should do 20 circles before and after each meal. And nobody has ever asked me, well, why? Why rubbing the stomach? How does that help my digestion? Nobody's ever asked me that.
Well,
Okay, but Katniss is smart enough to ask the right question. All right, so if you put your finger in the center of your belly button, all right, and you put your left hand in the center of the belly button, and you put your right thumb at the bottom of the ribs, you'll see that the little finger crosses the belly button. All right, that's called the pyloric valve. The pyloric valve is the opening from the bottom of the stomach to the opening to the small intestine. So that is the center point of your entire chest cavity. All right. So now, if we do a little diagonal from the belly button, and you press in, that's the ileocecal valve. That's the end of the small intestine and the beginning of the large intestine. So if we put our hand there, we go up to the bottom of the ribs on the right hand side. That's what we call the hepatic flexure. And then if we go across to the other side, if we go down the left side, that is what we call the splenic flexure, because the splenic is on the left. And if we go down, that is the sigmoid colon, which is the bottom of the large intestine leading into the rectum. So if we go across, beginning of the large intestine, hepatic flexure of the colon, transverse colon, splenic flexure down. So if we just do below the belly button, we're getting the large intestine. But if we go up higher, we're getting the livers on the right, stomach and pancreas in the center, and the spleen is on the left. So if we go down and go all the way up, we're getting every part of the digestive system. The stomach, the small intestine, large intestine, the bladder, and the colon. Okay? So the bladder and the gallbladder. So we're getting all 5 organs by going in a circle. So this is the 20 circles before and after each meal, increase digestion. But her question was, if you start in the center and go 8 spirals out, or you start at the top and go 8 spirals in, what is the benefit of that? So the answer is there are 11 lymphatic drainage points in here. And so by rubbing the hands together, and like I said, if you're a guy, the right hand goes down. If you're a girl, the left hand goes down. And by going in the circle, you're stimulating the drainage points of the lymph system. So that's going to improve your colon, it's going to improve your bladder, it's going to improve your digestion, it's going to improve the digestive enzymes, it's going to improve the gallbladder, and it's going to improve the bile, emulsifying the fats. So that's why we do that. Now, did you get all that, Katniss?
I got it. I definitely got it. So we're going to be looking forward to maybe perhaps some more bowel movements for some people?
Yes.
Awesome.
Increased volume and increased length of bowel movements by doing either the 20 circles, and that's a great thing.
Yeah. That's great.
One, cancer in America, And there's only a few thousand difference in numbers between lung cancer. So colon cancer, lung cancer running neck and neck. So what is colon cancer? That means that the internal environment is so toxic that the cells mutate out of defense. Now your body has about 250,000 cancer cells floating all around the body, but you have 5 specialized types of white blood cells that eat the cancer cells like Pac-Man. Now, what interferes with the white blood cells eating the cancer cells is fried foods and sugar and animal fat and salt and dairy and flour. Now, how many times have you heard somebody say, you need to let that go? You don't need to worry about that problem. That's outside of your purview. That's not in your wheelhouse. That's not your circus. That's not your monkeys. But human beings want to hold on to the past. We want to hold on to past anger. We want to hold on to past frustration. And the organ of elimination is the colon. So if you're holding on and you're not letting your sugar honey iced tea go, that's an acronym. Sugar honey iced tea. It's an acronym. So let your shit go. And so it's holding on, plus all of those things cause polyps. All of those things cause masses, little tiny masses that then block the flow of energy. Now, what if you don't chew your food? What if you're eating big chunks of meat, chewing 6 or 7 times and swallowing? Then that food becomes undigested, and you have these big chunks of undigested food in your colon. What happens if you eat big meals late at night and then that food putrefies? Now, I know you asked me, what can you do for colon cancer? Well, clean out your colon. And what is that called? Colon hydrotherapy, which means you have to go to a colon therapist. And now, once you go to the colon therapist, then she's got to refer you back to me so I can give you herbs and acupuncture to make sure your colon stays motile. And that's what we call motility, the ability to move energy through the colon. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And if you want more information, contact me offline. I'll be happy to give you a consultation.
So I have a question in regards to stagnation.
Stagnation.
Stagnation in the legs.
In the legs?
It would cause a blood clot.
Whoa, that's not good.
Can you explain a little bit about
I absolutely can. Okay, so we have a femoral artery. So I want you to find your pubic bone. Find that bone and then go to the outside. That's where your groin is, and that's exactly where your femoral artery is. Now, what happens when you cross your legs, Katniss? Do you close off the femoral artery?
Yes.
And you prevent blood circulation into your legs. So you're more likely to get a blood clot in your legs from improper posture from sitting. Now, how do ladies sit? Don't ladies sit like this? Don't they sit like that? Yes, they do. They kind of turn sideways, cross their legs, and do this. That's cutting off all the blood flow. So that's how you get poor blood circulation to your legs. Another way to do it is you sit on your butt all day long. Now, there is the center of the butt. There's a joint right there. And you can dig your thumbs right into that butt right now, and it's going to hurt. I guarantee you it's going to hurt, because I've been doing this for a really long time. So when I pioneer chair massage and I go down people's spines with my thumbs, and when I get to that butt muscle, they all jump up in the air because they sit too much. So the arteries that go out of here go to the hamstrings. And the hamstrings are actually 4 sets of muscles, 4 sets of coiled muscles. And if you reduce blood flow, then you're going to get leg cramps. And the muscle that's more likely than anything is called the gracilis muscle, which turns into the groin, which attaches to the groin. And from excessive sitting and poor posture, then when you move forward, it's going to pull in the SI joint, which is the sacroiliac joint. So it is your posture that is going to cause your back pain and poor blood flow to the legs, which then can also cause varicose veins and spider veins and those big purple ugly veins in the back of your legs.
So body drumming is helpful.
Yeah, body drumming is very helpful for blood stagnation in your legs. Absolutely. And there's a nighttime routine as well, where we work the spleen meridian going up the leg, the kidney meridian going up the leg, and the liver meridian going up the leg. And that's a nighttime routine that we call the nighttime 9. Okay, it looks like we are almost out of time. Do we have time for one more question?
Oh, yes. So when you drum the side of your head,
Mm-hmm.
is
Yes.
that supposed to help you think clearer?
Absolutely. So the temporal lobe of the brain is just above the ears. The parietal lobe of the brain is just behind the temporal lobe. So the temporal lobe is where we store memory in the outer layer of the brain. So doing this, or this, or this, any of those movements is going to increase blood flow to the temporal lobe of the brain.
And of course, just for safety purposes, it's enough to feel it, but not hurt.
Well, it's you doing you. So, if you want to do this to your head, that's totally up to you. Of course, when I'm falling asleep while I'm driving at 80 miles an hour, yes, I'm going to hit myself in the head really hard just so I can stay awake. But if you're doing it just before you go to bed, no, you don't want to do it that hard. Uncommon sense is required.
That's what I mentioned.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that Sonia's music says, "I love your content and information." She didn't just say it; she did it with a donation on YouTube. Your first donation
My
ever.
first donation ever.
That's
Thank you.
very thoughtful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is very
That's
amazing.
awesome. A lot of people have expressed interest in the drumming as well, and we're going to be following up with them.
Okay.
Yeah, no more questions. But I wanted to share that with you.
That's
Awesome.
I'm thrilled and I'm humbled, and thank you so much, Sonia. I get a lot of people thanking me for all the knowledge, the pearls of wisdom that I drop, and now I actually received a donation. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you.
Great. So we're wrapping it up.
So if you want to learn how to do this, go to lovechigong.com. That's for the morning class. And if you want to take the 6-hour class in anatomy drumming, then leave a comment below and we'll connect you. And coming up in June, we're going to have Raw Wednesdays. So we're going to do 3 Wednesday Cooking Raw with Dr. Love. And if you're interested in the Raw class, then also comment below and we'll make sure you get that, which is separate from this. In other words, the Cooking Raw with Dr. Love is going to be a separate class from the 11 o'clock. That's going to be a 12 noon Wednesday webinar class. No, it's just going to be a class. Yeah, it's just going to be a class. So I want to thank you all for listening, watching. If you want access to the previous classes, anchor.fm/Ask Dr.Love. And
access to the body drumming in extent.
oh, yes, well, if you go to lovechigong.com, who knows what you're going to find in the archives. So lovechigong.com for the morning class. And for this podcast, please like and share, because we need subscribers, obviously, so we can reach more people to help them. My only focus for this is to bring Qigong into the world, because I believe Qigong is the prevention for diabetes, heart disease, and lung cancer. And after 42 years of teaching and training, that is my sincere belief. And I want to bring as many people into the awareness that Qigong will save your life. Your health is in your hands. Prevention is the only cure. And if you want to be well, you've got to Qi well. I'm Dr. George Xavier Love for the Blue Dragon Qigong Academy. Thank you. Until tomorrow. Be well.